This video is for ages 13 and up, because something's something.
Hey, Darkwing! Don't. My finger can transform. Guess which one?
Hello, this is Five Spiders here on this topic discussion. Hotshot from the Transformers Armada / Micron Legend. Hotshot is maybe about the same or a bit more character development growth than Starscream is written. Maybe because he has a lot more time that the showrunners can do. Hotshot was a hot-headed warrior that will always head first into battle to a character that stands out on being a great leader as Optimus. Before we get started, I want to announce that I have set up a Ko-Fi account. If you want to support my work to make my show better, your contributions will bring me one step closer getting a better setup instead of using a phone to edit with. You can make it one time or become a member and grant you a shout out at the end of my videos. If you can at the moment, the best way is to like, comment, and share this video. The more people interact, the more people will see this video. Now that's all the way, onto the show. You might want to ask the question, what happened to Bumblebee in the Transformers franchise? Back in the 90s and early 2000s, Bumblebee was a trademark and it took some time to get it back. So, when having off an entire decade until 2007, we get our heroic gold bug again. So quickly, they had to make an entirely new yellow character to contrast with the blue design of Optimus Prime in Armada. As stated in my Armada character charts, Hotshot is named Hot Rod in Japanese. If you watch the 86 film of Hot Rod becoming Optimus Prime's successor after his death, it's implied in Japanese that Hotshot's development from a trained Autobot to a respectable leader. As noted, I am terrible on flip-flop characters, so I'm letting you know that I'm still talking about the same character. Of course, if you have not watched my Optimus Prime Armada video part 1, I have talked about the subbed and dubbed wars, and how you can consume your media. If it's necessary to talk both parts of the anime, then I'll note the differences for this video if needed. If you know Japanese projection of seasons, normally the timelines in production you can see from episode 1 to 12 are like the introduction / episodic slow introduction of the characters. Armada is seriously a very slow series to start off for a Transformers show, but it really does kick off right after episode 24, and it's totally worth your time to get up to that point. I have made another chart to tell you the era production of episodes, so it's much easier for me to do story beats. For most of Hotshot's character growth was mostly in Era 2, episodes 13 to 34, and Era 3, 25 to 42, when he had more central episodes about him. After the revival of Optimus Prime Era 4, episodes 43 and 252, they kinda ended his character growth besides mending his relationship with Rampage. But we will talk about Era 4 when we get there, so keep this in mind throughout the video. Your charts of episodes will be different from mine, and that's how I'm going to go frame it that way. In episode 13, they made it clear Hotshot doesn't believe himself, or he believes that his strength is not enough to be on the Autobot team. When he gained the Starsaber sword for the first time, he didn't know how to activate it until the children told him that Hotshot himself had to believe his spirit to channel the spirits of the Minicons. And like magic, they were able to use the sword and cut his enemies with ease. He felt confident that he can help out his team significantly and no longer feels the burden he feels on his teammates. With Optimus' permission, he kept the Starsaber with Hotshot as he believes the Minicons have a close bond with him. Though Optimus' opinion does change when Hotshot overused and reliance on the blade. Since episode 13, Hotshot has been using the blade and not his own skills winning battles against the Decepticons. Optimus straight up tells him to not act out of line or being overconfident, even though Optimus put his full trust into Hotshot to perform his duties correctly, and takes care of the Minicons that makes up the Starsaber. That was a mistake, his over-reliance of the Starsaber. After one episode when Scavenger really did own Hotshot, and really put him in his place, where Hotshot needs to rely on himself to improve his skills when a loss happens. Without losing battles, or some battles, how are you able to overcome when someone's clearly stronger than you? Hotshot needs the knowledge to know how to defeat his enemies, but also the knowledge that no matter how many times you lose, just try and improve in order to succeed. Scavenger won the fight against Hotshot because Hotshot believes he's amazing and ignores his own strength and falsely believes he can do anything. He uses the sword as intimidation to his enemies, as a Decepticon knows what the Star Saver could do. Scavenger was easy on Hotshot the entire time and lets him keep the sword, even when Scavenger is able to do so and gives it to Megatron. The pride Hotshot in these episodes made him believe he isn't enough to be a team player, or his allies start to believe he can't be reliable like Red Alert said to Optimus. By the time Doubleface's first appearance in episode 15, Doubleface was able to manipulate Hotshot fairly easily. He made Hotshot to believe again that the sword was amazing and could do anything, even defeating Decepticons, if they arrive at the base. A pitfall that Hotshot was baited without thinking, and went to the Decepticon base without Optimus and his teammates. Though he didn't went to the base alone, as he has Doubleface with him, but when that stuff goes away, the tools you once used goes against you, and there's no way to defend yourself. When Doubleface kicks the Star Saver towards Starscream activated the sword faster than Hotshot could, and immediately made the Minicons work for him. It reveals that Doubleface was working against the Autobots the entire time. For terrorizing the Decepticons, Cyclonus and Demolisher started to beat him up, as they were tired of Hotshot using the sword for a decent amount of time at this point. Now the sword is in their hands, they can do anything with him, Megatron or the Starscream. If Hotshot makes a move on taking back the sword, he will kill him. Hotshot being crippled on his own weapon, and his will to fight is gone, curls up into a ball and softly weeps. And he doesn't believe he went into the trap alone, and he will be tortured by the Decepticons. Scavenger said otherwise, as they really didn't need Hotshot anymore, as they see him as an Autobot who lost all hope and motivation, and they should just return Hotshot back to the base. Let's be real here. Scavenger, if you know spoilers, was with the Autobots the entire time. He's totally the GOAT. Scavenger knows Hotshot is better than this, and saving his life due to a mistake is the greatest of all time. Not only this taught him a lesson, but forcibly tells Hotshot to rely on himself and his allies to win a fight. Scavenger wants to encourage Hotshot to become stronger, and later on fight in a sparring match with his own strength. It's too bad that Scavenger only appears in Armada/Micron Legend, as his character as a mentor is one of the things lost in the Energon Superlink. I like how Hotshot's interactivity with Scavenger and Doubleface made him better to understand a bit more of himself, and later on, he was able to get back at Doubleface for portraying him, which is so satisfying. By episode 31 to 32, Past is a 2-part series of episodes, and it's probably one of my favorite episodes depicting the show Don't Tell aspect on Hotshot's past and the reason why Optimus puts him on his personal team. These sets of episodes of Era 3 of Armada tells us why he believes the way he does, the reason why he doesn't believe himself for his arrogance against his teammates, and why he fights alone. I didn't really like how the show talked about the character's past through exposition, and just say what happened of their relationship in still shots, like they did for Optimus and Scavenger. For a 2-part episode tells us for the first time the emotional weight, why Hotshot cannot train or have a partner underneath them. This is Stepper's first appearance, and why he recently joined the Autobots. He traveled all the way to Earth to meet his hero, Blur, or Silverbolt, whatever, that he saved and inspired him. Optimus asked Hotshot to train the new recruit as it will help Hotshot to build back his confidence and guide Stepper in the ranks. Much to Hotshot's dismay, it should have been Blur, but agrees to Optimus's demands as it gives him more experience when he leaves the team one day. The two spent the whole day together. Hotshot sees Stepper needs more work on his aiming, but could see potential to be a great reliance on the Autobot team. The two relax in front of the lake, and Hotshot tells why he loves Earth. When the two immediately want to get back, Stepper again asks if he could be like Blur. Hotshot immediately shoots down that idea, as he tells Stepper to be himself and find his own way to fight. As the two are coming back to base, a mysterious charcoal gray car with a scratched out Autobot insignia starts to bump into the two and swerve them off the road. When the mysterious vehicle was able to get Hotshot alone, he transformed himself and reveals who he was. It was Rampage. The episode was a nice build-up of what happened between Hotshot and Rampage. In the past, Hotshot's superior was asked to take care of the new recruit to the Autobots, Rampage. As Hotshot is new to having a partner to train underneath him, Rampage speaks out of his mind that he wants to be like Hotshot one day, and knows there's a rumor that Hotshot is going to be chosen by Optimus to be in his personal team, which Rampage is so jealous. He asks Hotshot if one day they could still be friends after all this fighting against the Decepticons. That'll change when the Decepticons attacked, and in one event, Rampage got himself pinned and cannot move out of the way from the flames. Hotshot gets up as he isn't strong enough to get Rampage out. He tells Rampage he's going to get some help in order to get him out. Rampage asks him to keep on trying and not leave him behind. Hotshot disagrees, as he believes that the both of them will get out of this, and he will get some help, and promises Rampage he will come back. Hotshot runs and finds his fellow Autobots, and he asks to help him out to save Rampage, but much to the help he got, his superiors tells him not to go back, as the flames are too strong for them to get through. He breaks down as he feels his guilt and remorse that he couldn't save his friend. When Rampage felt that rage and abandonment and was saved by Megatron, he immediately changed his alignment and felt grateful to Megatron for saving his life, and became a Decepticon, with no virus, or was born with it. After so long, Hotshot's surprised that he's still alive, but that sense of guilt for abandoning his friend, Rampage used his weapon and shoots Hotshot blank near his spark. He tells Hotshot plainly that he died, but came back as an Decepticon. Even though, earlier, I said Stepper wants to be Blur, but Hotshot completely shuts it down as an inspiration to rely on yourself to be better. It's a cute moment until you realize Rampage wants to be like him. This kind of turns dark as the trauma he carries, as Hotshot does not want Stepper to be let down by Blur, the same way he let down Rampage. Excuse me, I think we have technical difficulties with the trauma truck. Just give me 1 second to unload the extra weight. And part 2 continues with Stepper bringing back Hotshot back to base. Hotshot explains to Stepper who that Transformer was to him. Optimus comes clean to Blur, the reason why he made Hotshot a part of his team. The time where Hotshot abandoned his partner ate away at him, and it was painful for him to move on. Optimus did this so he can face his past head on, as there's nothing to redo or change it. He doesn't want that kind of guilt to eat at him forever. Stepper says what Hotshot has done isn't his fault, but Hotshot disagrees, as is an excuse for Rampage's abandonment, as his responsibility is to take care of Rampage and prefers he would stay and die together than living with the guilt today. That is why he relies on the sword, not his own strength and his trust in his teammates. He doesn't feel worthy for the things he has done now, but Hotshot must face this battle alone. He finds Rampage at an abandoned factory. Rampage says his own path and why he is a part of Megatron's army. While the true nature is to fight, and don't even know how long it's been, he claims it's been going on since ancient times, and says that idea will go on for eternity, as it gives them purpose and pride of why they exist in the world. Rampage's taste for hatred what turned into a Decepticon. It is sad that Rampage always wanted to be friends with Hotshot and still believes in it. However, their alignments will one day fight each other on the battlefield. Hotshot could not let go of his past, as he pointed Rampage's weapon to his spark and told Rampage to not miss this time. As Hotshot believes this gets rid of Rampage's pain by killing him. That's when Stepper intervenes and saves Hotshot, but Hotshot pleads with Stepper in the previous episode that he is a very terrible marksman. Rampage forces his hand and kidnaps Stepper and recreates the same situation when he was abandoned. Now he does it with Stepper. Rampage knows that he will save Stepper, as Hotshot is always filled with guilt and willing to do whatever he can to rewrite the past. Hotshot comes and saves Stepper, much to Stepper tells him to save himself. Hotshot yells as he will not, and the two made it out in time. Stepper, feeling grateful for saving his life, instantly hugs him, as he never experienced that before, which is really cute. I love it. Right before the episode ends, the Japanese version calls Hotshot Aniki. It's so adorable. I just love it after all this. Hotshot, for the first time, is letting go of his regret and is able to move on for a bit. If you haven't watched my Optimus Prime video, which you should, Optimus died while protecting Earth from the super weapon the Decepticons made, from the power of the Minicons, like the sword, the shield, and the blaster. Hot Rod earlier yelled at Optimus for being so naive of trusting Starscream. After the early episodes, Starscream betrayed the Decepticons and had nowhere to go, and the consequences of that is the most powerful Minicon stolen and now in the Decepticon hands. However, we get at the halfway point of the show where Hot Rod and Starscream share this kind of relationship, but Hot Rod is unsure to fully put his trust into Starscream yet, but is willing to do so because so long Optimus brings kindness, there is no need to have any infighting. Also, the children trust in Starscream was more than enough for Hot Rod to put a little trust in him. Y'all forgot these two were fighting for the majority of the show, so you can say the two are foils to each other, and what they believe that is right. That is kind of the extent of the relationship. He starts to trust Starscream again in the final episodes, when he still cares for the children. Hot Rod even asked Starscream to join the Autobots again, just for Alexis. Going back to Optimus's death, Hot Rod wanted to apologize for yelling at him earlier and asked if he could join. Jetfire scolds Hot Rod because he doesn't have the ability to link up or even fly. If Hot Rod comes into battle, he will just be extra weight to take care of, and he has to stay behind. Before the two left, Optimus shows the Matrix to Hot Rod, giving the audience a thought that Optimus would give the Matrix to Hotshot if he doesn't make out this fight. Hotshot disagrees, as he isn't ready or he isn't worthy for it. He is confident that Optimus will come out this okay, but much to Hotshot's horror, Optimus did not. With the Matrix left shining right in front of him, Hot Rod feels lost and he doesn't know what to do. Hotshot was just so hellbent on getting his revenge, he forgot what it means to lead a team. In the later episodes, he apologizes his irrational actions to everyone and exclaims out to the world that they will go back to Cybertron to defeat the Decepticons, even though the odds are stacked against them. Hotshot makes sure that everyone is encouraged to try their best and hopefully end the war. This gives hope to everyone to keep on fighting and keep the memories of Optimus alive. Even though Hotshot refused to take the Matrix, he wants to honor his leader, even through the dark times. He feels worthy and what he believes is right. Thus, everyone is able to follow his dreams in the saving the universe. But now we're here at Arc 4, the ending. What is more to say about Optimus getting revived and becoming a leader again? But the downside is, Hotshot's character development sort of kinda ends here. And what is even more to say about Hotshot's character, besides mending his relationship with Rampage at the end of the show, which is fun to watch that they fix a relationship, but now they stand as enemies on the battlefield. But that was completely thrown away off screen. Rampage is now completely neutral and doesn't fight the Autobots since they did a truce to defeat Unicron. Though there's nothing established on Hotshot's character, besides everything turns out well and saying their goodbyes to the children and repairing Cybertron. The story is what we finally see his self-worth and reliance on his teammates. and he is willing to sacrifice his own to save them. He is no longer going to fight by himself, and we see this after temporarily becoming a leader, finding his own way, which makes Optimus really proud of Hotshot. All the hard work he has done has come into fruition, and finally shined like a star. Optimus believed he would lead his own team one day. I guess that is it for Hotshot. I know it's kind of ended like this, but I like to see Hotshot taking a larger role after Optimus' death. Nevertheless, the stuff that we got is good, and how Hotshot's character develops from a fun watch throughout the show. Micron Legend isn't really for newcomers of the Transformers franchise, as earlier episodes are very slow and episodic, as it's just a mini-con collecting of the week's script style. There is no shame to skip some episodes. As I already showed on screen, there are necessary episodes to watch in the arcs, and what to skip, as I generally think a lot of these episodes can be cut down to around 26 episode run. That is that, and that's all I have to say to you. I hope you're doing alright, and I'm going to leave now. Goodbye. Bye-bye.